Quinn fairly recently. It wasn't in playoffs, but like there has been all sorts coming out on this patch. Here we go. Bans coming on through already, though. Tristan, Jax, and Xayah. I mean, the Jax ban against EDG, I feel like it's mandatory at this point.
Yeah, I like top esports bans. Even the Xayah, something that we've been seeing Uzi heavily lean on. It's his most played champion so far in this playoff story. And EDG keeping their ban stock and standard as well. We said they banned Rumble and Vi every single game of playoffs so far, and they're going to keep that one going. Kai'Sa being the big thing in my mind that's left open. Top esports will see if they want to go towards that, or, you know, again, is that your priority now going to be there for EDG, or do they default to maybe a stronger laning champion like the Jace? And it looks like that will be the case.
Yeah. And what a strong combo for EDG's first rotation in the draft. I will say, top esports, a little flexibility there. I was going to say the Kai'Sa could be showed as a flex. We saw Cream playing it mid, but with the hover of the LeBlanc, you would assume that Kai'Sa is going towards JackeyLove in the bottom side. But man, still an exceptionally strong rotation. If they go for the Kai'Sa into like LeBlanc plus a strong jungler, they'll be feeling fantastic.
I would love to see that come out for TES, especially just thinking back to like some of Rookie's best LeBlanc performances. I mean, 2020, there was so many of them. So now we're going to get to see if the combination of Rookie and JackeyLove can really take over. But now, EDG's time to answer. We know the Maokai is a flex pick, right? I feel like you'd expect it more to go in the jungle since it is paired alongside that Jace. But if Sejuani makes it further down in the draft phase, that's something that always could be paired with the Jace as well. So for now, EDG not going to want to show their cards completely and will just lock in the Varus. So definitely going to have the strength to try and match in that 2v2.
Loving the signs from the fans already. I just want to mention as well, the Varus Jace, this is like classic top esports. When you think of 2020 top esports, they love these poke compositions. If Uzi does end up going lethality, we'll have to wait and see what build he goes for just yet. Very likely the static shiv still available for him. I just want to quickly mention that LeBlanc as well, because for Rookie, historically a big pick, but this split, he's only played LeBlanc a single time and they lost that game. Like, even though LeBlanc has been rampant in the LPL, Rookie has still very much lent on like the Ahri, the Azir, the Jace. He's not really touched the LeBlanc all year.
I think it makes sense though, right? He's leaned on the meta, and it's something that Rookie's usually done well, is where I feel like when you compare with other top mid laners who do have champion oceans, Rookie's usually kept it more compact to what is strong in the meta and not strayed too far from it. So you're going to see if he still has what it takes to maneuver on this LeBlanc. I like EDG's ban
sure
quite a bit. Yeah, it's you never doubt Rookie. But taking away the Lee Sin, you know, the thing that would pair so well, and giving them some of that early aggression. We saw Shadow have a great performance on that one yesterday, as well as no Sejuani on the card. So I'm curious what Tien's going to lean into. We still have things like the Viego up that you always could go for. But now for EDG, I like the bans towards top, because then as EDG, if you pick top here, you can still keep that Maokai as a flex going into your last pick. We still have like generic tank top laners open if they did want to try and get more of a front line. You know, things like the Ornn still being up there, Sion, which we haven't been seeing as much of. But no.
I feel like Gragas as well. Wayward has been still playing a good chunk of the Gragas over the course of the year. Like, fits the tank champion option.
I think it'd be a little too AP heavy,
Gwen ban does
though.
say like, yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like the Gwen ban though, it does scream like, I want to play Sion.
Yeah, right. It definitely feels like for Wayward wanting to go one of those routes. And Gisante has been Wayward's bread and butter. That being taken off the table means he will have to default to something like the Sion. But now Tien going to get his hands on the Nocturne, so you're going to be able to put a ton of threat on side lanes with, you know, playing around Rookie. And even JackeyLove won't have that hard of a time of answering for like halfway through River, being able to follow in with the ultimate. So people like Fofo on the Jace are really going to be given a tough time. I think I'd actually like this even a bit more than the Sion, just having the Call of the Forge God, a long-range engage where you don't need to commit yourself, to like double down. I guess it'd be like quadruple down on the amount of range they have to find an engage from.
I mean,
but they also did kind of counterpick themselves.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, Ala has Fiora open in a tank matchup. That's not too bad for them.
There also was a Braum.
Yeah, oh, true. True. That really sucks for Ornn. Well, we'll have to see how that one goes. We'll keep an eye on the Braum during these team fights, as Poppy going to be the final lock-in for that top lane. I'm looking forward to the team fights, though, because we have two drastically different styles. I feel like full dive for top esports and kind of full anti-dive, right? With the Braum and now a Poppy coming in, plus the disengage from Maokai. EDG, they are staying at arm's length, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It is going to be interesting because I definitely feel like Uzi's going to have to go probably more of an on-hit, higher DPS route, just from the fact that you do have things like the Ornn you're going to have to worry about. And that's going to mean you are going to have to play a little bit closer. Still, with the amount of CC that EDG have, it's going to be about being able to single out targets, lock them down, burst them out before anyone's able to get there. But it definitely feels like 4TS having a little bit more wiggle room by having a multi-threat comp with the LeBlanc, the Kai'Sa, and hell, even the Nocturne is going to be something that if Tien gets a few kills under his belt, this is going to be another thing you have to worry about.
We'll have to see how it's going to go down. One thing I will say as well, Nocturne, a champion notorious for just farming up till 6 and then getting involved in the game. Against like Ivan, Maokai, these champions that are a little bit weaker in the first couple of levels, Nocturne's a great duelist. Like, you get the fear off, you get your attack speed from your Q, like, you can shred through that tree. So we'll have to keep our eyes on those solo lanes, who's getting priority, whether Tien tries to use and abuse that fact. I'm excited for this one, though. I feel like the Kai'Sa has a lot of setup for JackeyLove. He has been playing immaculately across the course of the year. He's got his own skin on the champion, and now he's bringing it up against one of the greatest AD carries of all time, who built his reputation on that Kai'Sa, who's midway through a miracle run. Or perhaps he's at the end of the miracle run. We'll have to find out today.
And I mean, you talking, right? I mean, 2 AD carries, probably the 2 most historic AD carries coming out from the LPL, especially if you aren't counting like way back in the day when, people like Wei Zhao's name have to be in that conversation. If you just think of like LPL AD carries, these would be the 2 names that jump to the forefront. We said Uzi, Mako haven't been having the best time in 2v2s, but Varus Braum should be completely fine in being able to handle the 2v2 lane. And hell, if JackeyLove and Mark over-aggress, they're going to be the ones getting punished from that Braum passive.
They certainly will be. I'm curious how the 2v2 is going to go as well. I feel like JackeyLove and Mark have been pretty on it in the 2v2s, whereas Uzi and Mako have shown some lane weakness. That I feel like, not necessarily weakness, lane volatility, I think is the best way to describe the EDG bot lane, because they've also dominated 2v2s, they've dominated 2v3s, but they've also had some really rough laning phases. So I feel like that 2v2 in the bottom side could be a massive way to break this game open. We're headed on Summoner's Rift, though, as round 3 of playoffs begins.
EDG, definitely with the louder Gyos.
Yeah, we got some powerful Gyos today. Some
we
powerful ones. Like, the fans are out in force. We said that coming in. Like, these are 2 teams with plenty of fans. JackeyLove in trouble at level 1 here. Needs to dodge the Q, but Mako holding it. Forced to flash, and you couldn't ask for more, could you? Great start from EDG. Now answered on the top side. I think JJ will be able to just walk this one out.
Yeah, if Rookie started E, I think there's a chance there where you're able to force flash, but then, of course, wouldn't be as ideal for lane. So not going to go with it, just going to do a bit of damage coming out now. But I think forcing that flash on JackeyLove is huge, and we've been hitting on so much about who's going to dominate this 2v2. Now an obstacle, setting them back. And hell, when you're going up against Maokai and Braum, like, they're going to be able to chain CC well together so easily, and maybe start finding some early ganks on JackeyLove and Mark.
Mako already starting as he means to go on, getting a little bit of damage down. Buying space for Uzi in the lane. We'll be keeping our eyes on who hits level 2 first. I'm also looking towards top, where we've got Ala on the Poppy. Toppy, not something we see super often in the LPL.
We have Poppy versus Ornn. Are we really looking towards top at all? Is anyone killing anyone here?
Look, Poppy's the hero, okay? So I feel like she deserves some attention. I'm just saying that EDG bringing out some flexibility in the draft as Mark slightly wide on that hook as they hit the level 2 first. Uzi and Mako will have to give some respect over in the bottom lane, that 3rd wave. Looking towards the jungles as well. We already mentioned Tien on the Nocturne. He has to be a huge part of this early game for Top Esports.
Oh, he really does, right? And like you said, it's all about when he hits that level 6 mark. And then, I mean, EDG's 2 big carries are both immobile. It's going to be very easy for Rookie and Tien to try to punish these. Hell, it's even the reason why I feel like Wayward went for the Ornn, despite the fact that Mako already had the Braum, just to more of like fit the composition, even if he did kind of self-counter himself, right? Just very immobile carries. You have so many different ways of attacking them from a range. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on Tien and Rookie and what they're able to do. JJ, though, maybe having the ability to influence the early game first on this Maokai. And like we said, I feel like the best area of attack for him is going to be that bot lane, which is luckily where he is pathed anyway.
I'm surprised Wayward didn't commit harder to that. Ala taking multiple turret shots. Will walk away with his life. Tien's on the top side of the map. Just finishing his clear here. Still has that smite available if he wants to look to going towards top lane. Wayward, good little combo onto the Poppy, but Ala trading it back. Good start to the lane, though, from Wayward.
Now, Wayward winning out, like you said, those turret shots doing so much. Ala even trading where he is in the lane close to Wayward's turret, not going to be able to pick up a lot of those buckler shields, which is one of the areas where Poppy's trading strength is so strong. So I think Wayward doing a nice job so far, and we can see on the minimap, Tien going to look for the opportunity.
And rightly so. Ala blocks the knockup, but then goes in for the fight. Might have just caught himself out of position. Flash goes through, but the fear still hits Tien. Tank in the tower, but he walks it on. And Wayward barely gets out too.
Still finding the first blood. It is going to go to Wayward, not to Tien, which I think would have been a little bit more ideal. But even getting Wayward tankier as soon as possible, I think is going to be huge.
Certainly is. Rookie, a bit of pressure. There's actually a hook from Mark in the bottom side. Mako's in trouble. Very low on HP. The Ignite burning away, but Uzi threat enough to push Mark back away from this one. They've got to be cautious, though, because JackeyLove is posturing aggressively. Uzi steps forward with a heal. They jump onto Uzi. The damage is there, but he's 1 HP. He goes down, and it's a 2. Double kill for JackeyLove at level 3.
3-0 at 4.5 minutes. Not the start you wanted. If you're an EDG fan, dominance in the 2v2 already beginning. Tien finding impact on the map. This is everything you want, is top esports.
Who needs some of this? Who needs some of this? JackeyLove loses his flash at level 1 and they still win the 2v2, but my god, it couldn't have been closer, could it? JackeyLove was, what, 1 HP coming out of the back of that one. But hey, it just matters who gets the kills. 2 kills this early on a Kai'Sa of all champions.
Yeah, you can already see having the Kerchai Shard and the Noon Quiver picked up. So going to have a small component advantage, going to have more damage that he's able to put out. And we're going to see exactly how this one goes from JackeyLove's point of view. The W, you know, it had just been used on cooldown now. Nice hook comes out from Mark. And I like the way the top esports are playing this, kind of playing it far back from a range, allowing Uzi to get his cooldowns out, waiting for his to come up before he goes back for the re-engage. And I feel like a lot being done by Mark there, flashing in, pulling Uzi back in to make sure they get those kills.
Yeah. Really on a knife's edge. The cleanse on the exhaust there, absolutely the difference maker. But Wayward has died during the replay. Did Ala just get a solo kill on Poppy?
Yeah, okay, okay.
Oh, no.
So, denying the dash away from Wayward. And we need to remember that Wayward used his flash in the previous play to find the kill, escape the dive, and not go down to turret before. Already finding the value in this Poppy.
The fadeaway shield. Oh, it's beautiful. Fofo's in trouble as well as they jump on forwards. Can the chains connect? Rookie doesn't even throw them. Or if he did, I missed it. Dragon started by EDG to answer some of the topside presence, but Tien is in the river here. This could be a little dicey for EDG.
Yeah, we see JackeyLove making his way up now. Rookie having level 6 to play with.
Rookie jumping forwards to try and get some damage out. Tien's still only level 5, so he doesn't have that dash, but he's got Smite available and Flash. As Mark moves in, looks for Mako to start it off, and Mako already chunked out massively from that one. JJ going in onto Tien, but in the meantime, Rookie's got to finish Mako off. Uzi's next, and top esports are demolishing EDG right now. Forced away is JJ. This Fofo goes down, and my goodness, they're making it look easy.
Yeah, and you know, I think a lot of us are wondering what kind of top esports would show up in playoffs. An incredibly volatile team that can look like the best team in the world one day, but then also can just look like an absolute fiesta the next. We're gonna see here, I feel like a lot of small things working in EDG's top esports favor. First, the pinch, which allows them to go on one side of the fight, and then Tien with the spell shield, so he doesn't actually get rooted. while that was happening, Rookie finds kind of a small chink in the armor where he can go and find that burst. And this was what we talked about Top Esports composition. It just has such a great way of being able to dive in and single out a target. So I feel like a lot of small things there is what allowed Top Esports to isolate targets and get that pinch on EDG.
And you're talking about the Brawn being kind of a counter to the Ornn. Well, it can't counter the Ornn if Ornn's not part of the fight.
Oh, no.
Smart play from Top Esports.
We already got double static shiv finished up.
I noticed as well that JackeyLove running the minion dematerializer, so the shiv will still one-shot those caster creeps. And Top Esports, they're looking to control lanes, I think it's fair to say, with this kind of build paths in multiple lanes.
And we're at a point now where, like, last fight, we didn't have ults up. Now, Mark, level 6, Tien, more importantly, having that paranoia online. So, Uzi still doesn't have his flash for a little bit, but Tien's heading up towards top side for his camps.
I love the way that last fight went as well, where JackeyLove ended up positioning. It looked like he was level 6. It looked like he'd used his killer instinct. But that was actually just him flashing aggressively, doing kind of the classic JackeyLove thing of being aggressive in those team fights, going for the extra damage. But like you said earlier, this year for JackeyLove, not so many customary mistakes. Will get slowed by Mako. No flash available for him. Chain of Corruption cleansed away. He will walk away with his life.
You know, I was just going to want to bring up the fact of, like, hey, fans, if you haven't watched Top Esports this split, JackeyLove has been very consistent, hasn't caused pretty much any problems. But I felt like if we said it, something like that would happen. Takes a bit of a greedy path back down to lane and gets punished.
The timing was immaculate, wasn't it?
It was.
Immediately walks into two people. But he's fine. Gets away with it. Clean's going to be on cooldown, as Herald was taken up on the top side by Tien here. And, I think Mark expecting those minions to go down just a split second faster. That could have been a huge hook, actually. That would have pulled Mako under the tower.
Yeah, and even if it wouldn't have been a kill, right, getting some nice damage onto him. Uzi, as we can see, also has no mana, so it would have just been an outright one trade for TES. Yeah. And now, I mean, with Tien having Herald in pocket, like, maybe you look bot, but with how much work Rookie's getting done mid, I actually wonder if you'd even need to use the Herald there, because Rookie absolutely dominating. Look, 20 CS lead.
Yeah, this is kind of solo lane obliteration right now from Rookie as he gets another combo onto Fofo as well. Zips away so he doesn't take any tower damage. He's already got 2 plates. He's getting close to finishing off a third one here. He's, like you say, 20 CS up individually. Both him and JackeyLove in a fantastic spot in this game as Drake back onto the map. Never actually got finished off in that initial play. Mark trying to fight for vision. Doesn't feel like Top Esports will give this one up without a fight.
No, and it makes no sense to, right? When, I mean, you now being at kind of stronger points, you have completed items. Things like the Paranoia still haven't been used yet. I guess now Uzi does have his summoners back up and Fofo hasn't used his flash yet, so it's not going to be as easy to find those picks, but still, that can only help you reposition from one person. But if Top Esports kind of stagger their engage, Rookie having the distortion to jump in is, JackeyLove.
Yeah, Ala's already moved over, and this is a huge pick. There's steadfast presence to stop the killer instinct as well. That's a massive pick for EDG onto JackeyLove. That's a bounty in pocket as well. Herald immediately slammed down in the mid lane here. That'll be 4 plates taken with Demolish from Tien. I think they could finish this tower off. And they're not going to be able to do it. Not from Tien, sorry, from Wayward there. But it will just be the 4 plates taken in trade for the Drake. So little opportunity there for EDG, but they're still 2,000 gold down.
And here, like, I mean, Top Esports just waiting for Wayward to make his way down. JackeyLove wanting to get a little bit closer as the rest of his topside forces were making their way up. But definitely can't be having this, especially not even having Tri-Brush control, right? Don't have a pink in there. You know EDG were just a team that pushed the wave out, so they can have wards anywhere in the area. Ends up getting punished.
JackeyLove getting caught out there, perhaps a little greedy on his positioning. Ala, good to catch him out. But overall, Top Esports still finding advantages. Rookie continuing to push in the mid lane. He's still got 2 minutes to work away on this tower. With the amount of priority he's had all game long, he's going to finish it off. No, he's not. It's 1 HP. 16 on the mid lane tower.
I mean, this guy can come back anytime he wants. You know what I mean? This turret is false. It is an illusion. And if you see it right now, I want you to get it out of your mind. Because, yeah, there we see Fofo backs off, and Rookie is going to take this one out. will end up coming back with his Duskblade, so is going to, you know, find a decent bit of power, but at this point, Rookie's going to be able to do a lot to just evade him, and now it's going to be so hard for Fofo to walk up and clear out the lane, which is why we see Uzi, Mako making their way over, right? Because that extended lane up against the Nocturne, it is so easy to be punished by top esports composition.
It certainly is. Fofo gonna have a hard time there. Jaculov now finishing off a third plate as well. These static shivs already paying dividends. They've basically paid themselves off. If you consider the cost of the shiver debt in the early game, well, the plates that they've gained has certainly paid that off at this point. Fantastic stuff from Top Esports. 4,000 gold lead almost. We're only 13 minutes in.
Yeah, and all of this just coming from the first 5 minutes, right, where we are at a 3-0 lead is... We're just going to get some nice trading for now. I feel like we're getting close to the point where both top laners are tanky enough to where no shenanigans can come through. So now it's going to be a lot about what happens.
I don't know. This is Wayward and Alla you're talking about here, man. I feel like you can never quite count out shenanigans. We did see a Poppy solo kill at Ornn this game. Like, I feel like that's pretty shenanigan-y. Right from the word go.
I feel like if the Shy was here, I would be certain that more solo kills would happen. These guys are like just under that line where I'm like, okay, maybe we're safe.
Good bit of trading here from Rookie. Nice use of the chains to make sure he can get those extra autos in. Has the fleet, has the shiv. He's finished off a Night Harvester as well at 14 minutes. Alla wants to walk away. I think he will get out with his life here. Worth mentioning as well, the Spell Shield interaction with the Steadfast Presence. Tien can ult towards the Poppy, even with the Steadfast Presence. He can shield that initial knockup.
And I want to highlight on the minimap what was going on during that play. This is Jackie, Love, and Mark making their way into the enemy jungle, starting to clear out some of the defensive vision that EDG have and getting their own wards placed down. Looks like EDG are going to be quick to react and make sure those aren't there. We can see Top Esports already wanting to make sure they have a strong setup for this next Rift Herald. They'll at least be able to maintain control around the top half of the map, which could make it hard for EDG to have an avenue to enter in through, so they might have to actually just try and contend with the pressure that Top Esports have taken in mid lane.
Yeah. Honestly, the way that Top Esports are playing on the top side of the map and the... Oh, hang on, Jackie Love. You've stepped way too far forward on this one. Has to flash. And a TP actually going to come out as well. Jackie Love, the root's going in towards him. Cleanse dodges away from the Q, and here comes the cavalry! Jackie Love baiting the whole of EDG. He goes down in the end, but it is so unbelievably worth it. And Mako has Top Esports members punted at him by Alla. He's doomed at this point as he heads towards a blast cone, but he ain't going nowhere. Tien will finish the kill off. In fact, Rookie over the wall could even do the job. That's a Herald and more domination.
I was going to say, that's not only 4 kills. That's a Herald. That's Rookie pushing in top lane, potentially denying that, getting some turret damage down. That's Top Esports keeping control of mid lane. Those kills turn into so much control for TES. They're going to start getting some of their resets off and even get on the Rift in time for Dragon. Here, man, I am so like disappointed after the split Jackie Love's had that we're seeing a lot of like the mistakes come out in this first game of playoffs. But Mark and Tien there to save him. Paranoia first to try to deny some vision. And then this ult doing so much multi-man knockups. And then the coordinated dive from Rookie and Tien really doing a lot to save the day. It's already a one fight at this point. But then like you said, Alla, I don't know if he has some unfinished business with Mako, but it looks like he does.
Oh dear. Well, EDG off the back of... resets and whatnot, will be able to at least get themselves a second Drake. It's a Cloud Soul this game. Not really ideal for them, especially when the rest of the map is being taken apart by Top Esports. We're only 16 minutes in, and they're pushing a tier 2 in the mid lane. JJ going to be forced away. The Herald coming down will guarantee that tower. My goodness, the pressure that Top Esports are putting on, the speed they're accelerating this game at.
And we said it, these guys faced off last year in summer playoffs. Top Esports won both times. And yeah, you know, rosters are a bit different coming in, but still, I feel like the spirit of both organizations, especially Top Esports, doesn't matter how many roster moves they've had over the years, they really have kept a similar play style through and through. And showing us here in this first game why. They just are able to find such a good level of early game domination. And look at the minimap. these like aggressive ward lines have been able to persist throughout the game. I love that top Esports have been fighting to take and try to keep aggressive control of vision and deny EDG any space on the map.
And a lot of that coming down to TN, who's having a fantastic game on this Nocturne, been given a carry. This is the first Nocturne game we actually see from him this year. He's played carries, but not typically the Nocturne this year. But having a great game. And we were talking earlier about TN's year, and it feels like while he's had a ton of MVP performances and generally has had a much better year than I think a lot of people were expecting when he was on this roster at the start of the year, he's still had some rough games. And I feel like TN, this series for me, the biggest thing is if he can match JJ throughout this series, then I feel confident for top esports for the rest of playoffs. Like, he's had some odd games, but generally speaking, his performance has been good. And if he can maintain that consistency, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, and I feel like when you call players inconsistent or you say they're kind of flippy, it's like within a game they'll have good and bad moments. But Tien is like either he has a terrible game or he's a really good jungler. He's a jungler. You can see why he's picking up MVPs and why he made the All-Pro teams list. So, yeah, Tien definitely feels like a defining point of top esports performance in my mind. You already know what to expect out of Jackie Love Rookie. And even Mark, I'd say, you know, is a very consistent player. It's kind of Wayward and Tien you're looking at to be able to perform.
Mark's in trouble underneath the tower here. Oh, no way. Does he walk out of this one? Oh, God. EDG so close. 30 HP. Mark, I don't think even Mark can believe he walked out of that one. He's got a big old grin on his face.
And while that was happening, Rookie actually got a wave into turret on top side. So they're losing gold. They're losing experience. We're already at a 7K gold lead for TES. And it's only getting forced more and more by the fact that top esports are pushing out their side lanes.
If that W hits from Jackie onto Uzi there, it was already half HP, you know he's going down. Jackie is starting to feel confident. He's fishing for kills. He's on 2 items on the Kaiser. Like you say, pushing in every lane right now. Top esports. The pressure is never ending. I love how Mark is emoting at the start of the play and gets away with it. It's just beautiful.
We've always said that, like, Mark is one of my favorite players to watch his, like, expressions. He has the most, like, edgy boy band attitude there is.
Oh, no.
Rookie escapes.
Oh,
no.
God. I feel like EDG can't catch a break this game. Like, Mark walking away on 1 HP. They thought they had the pick on Jackie Love earlier, but it was all just a bait and heals onto Uzi instead.
You know, we were talking before the series, and, like, we were talking about our predictions, right? Because I predicted top esports 3-2. And I was telling you how I actually wanted to predict 3-0, but TS just have those moments where they do something silly. And, you know, EDG is good enough to where if top esports throw a Baron, EDG will catch it and EDG will win the game. But, man, if top esports can keep this up, like, this might be a quick night, which I don't know if a lot of people were expecting because of that flippy nature of top esports, because of that, the ups and downs that we've seen throughout the split.
All of the Forge God. And Mako can block it, but they're quite happy to just target the Brawn by the looks of things, although Wayward may have stepped too far forwards here. Stun comes in, JJ comboing on top of it as well. Wayward down, an opportunity for EDG. Man advantage for them if they can find more in the fight. Jackie Love would be the target here. Aloe on the Poppy, it's difficult to find and engage. Knock up onto Jackie Love, Killer Instinct to keep himself safe here. Mark forced to flash, and they will walk away.
Wayward getting picked, not what the team can handle. And a lot of it's coming down to that, right, they're playing the map very wide. Like, Rookie is not leaving the side lane. He's really trying to use, like, Static Shiv LeBlanc to the fullest of its ability. But at the same time, just it leaves a lot of members and areas of the map unprotected. As we see here, right? Just trying to make sure there's presence in mid, trying to find this opening pick. Call the Forge God. We see why Braum does counter this one out, but then just opens up opportunities like this for them to easily turn. They already have more members in the general vicinity since Rookie isn't here, and allows for EDG to find that first pick.
So good stuff from EDG. He's capitalizing on a mistake. That is literally what you were just saying. Like, top esports might make mistakes. EDG, a good enough team to capitalize on them. We literally get a case study of it in front of our faces. But the one kill they got was onto Wayward. None of the bounties taken over there. None of the big opportunities that you would hope for. If they could pick, like, Rookie right now, 500 gold bounty on him. The problem is, anyone walks up to Rookie, he's on 3 items at this point. He's going to one-shot a Squishy.
I was going to say, and, like, even picked up the Lich Bane, right? So only going to give him even more pushing power and threat in that side lane. EDG, though, they want to find a fight. JJ flashing, not able to find anything once again.
That was a little awkward from JJ. Thought he had the opportunity. TN just dives in here, and the rest of the team with the follow-up engage. Look at the damage across the whole of EDG. Top Esports, it doesn't even feel like they've committed just yet. Now the hook it onto Ala as Jagulov free firing. The shifts are getting so much value. Jagulov 1v4 in the backline, and in goes Rookie to finish the job. Ala is next. Fofo surviving, protecting his top laner, but Top Esports smurfing in the fights.
2 for 3 in favor of TES. This should open up the Drake for them. And I'll be honest, I don't even feel like the setup for the fight is like exactly what Top Esports want to go for. That was so incredibly rushed. And they still come out ahead. Makes sense when you have a 7K gold lead, but gonna be able to pick up their first dragon of the game and not even gonna get time to breathe. We're gonna head straight into the replay. You know, pulling this when they're so clumped up, I feel like actually benefits EDG and benefits the formation of trying to peel back with things like the Malk ultimate like we just see with the Braum shield coming up. But they just have so much damage. You can see Rookie going in and out with those distortions, slowly whittling them down. And it's going to be here where he finally finds a moment to go in, coordinates with Jagulov. Jagulov pulling their focus allows then for the jump in to come back from Rookie, and sadly not able to finish up Ala, or would have been even a more beneficial fight for TS. But like I said, that was very like haphazardly trigger pulled. That was even the best setup TS could have looked for, and they still won.
I feel like there's a part of me that thinks Top Esports were looking for a way to get Mako's shield out before the Ornal so it could hit multiple players. It didn't actually work. Mako's shield was up. It still hit multiple players anyway. But yeah, I mean, Rookie was looking down the barrel of a pentakill right there. If he'd just been able to finish off Ala, that would have been the quadra. Fofo would have been on his own. Speaking of Fofo alone, takes a chunk from Rookie again. Jagulov trying to find presence in the mid lane once more. Ala wants an opportunity, but won't be able to find it. And look at this, the mid lane tower. There's been so much presence here from EDG all game. It's still full HP.
Yeah, I do say the longer this game goes on, though, it's going to be a little bit annoying with how much frontline EDG have. Top Esports can't take fights like they just did of just like, you know, Rookie, Jagulov, everyone being front to back and just kind of throwing out your abilities over and over again, relying on the fact that you're this far ahead. We're going to rely to, like, see Rookie play over walls, use terrain and fog of lore, and find angles straight on to Fofo and Uzi.
Well, it takes a chunk, trades it for damage onto Wayward here. And like you say, playing side lanes, very much the way forwards. Rookie taking a tier 2 in the top side. In case he wasn't ahead enough, he's going to head back with a Blighted Crystal in his inventory. You know, I mentioned Jagulov having a skin. Rookie's also on the champion that he has a skin for. You know, like, very much reminding Uzi of 2018, our Rookie and Jagulov here.
Now, like we said the last time these guys have faced off in playoffs, Jagulov and Uzi is Mark. Yeah, they're kind of Top Esports are kind of playing their comp as a poke comp too. It's like, you know, fish for a hook, get a bit of damage done with like a distortion, maybe into a mimic from Rookie, throw it a W from Jagulov, then you back off, rinse and repeat.
Trying to use these shivs to maximum efficiency, that's for sure. It does feel like you know, the way that EDG drafted, it does feel like you say that it's hard to pull off that actual outright dive. It's really good for Top Esports that they built such a tremendous lead for themselves early on, because you can imagine if this is an even game and you're going into the late game against this comp from EDG, it's going to be really hard to finish any carries off. But they did manage to build a tremendous lead. They did manage to pretty much outlane across the board, aside from Ala, who did manage to solo kill Wayward, but
yeah,
both Jagulov and Rookie building huge leads in the laning phase. TN as well, getting a massive lead.
I feel like we're at a point where sure, Top Esports can keep side laning, pulling them apart, and like try to break down that inner turret bot lane. But beyond that, they now need to start, you know, making a plan to find picks to get a Baron. Because if not, like you're saying, we see how the game is stalled out with a 6K gold lead for TES. So if it just keeps going and they're getting items under the belt, this is going to be rough.
Mark has to flash away. Does have Hex Flash, so not the end of the world for him, but does feel like EDG are starting to gain control of this Baron area. And Baron has very much been the bread and butter for EDG across the course of playoffs. It feels like a lot of their wins have come from that Baron pit. As they control the river, they're denying vision. And remember, Top Esports, this is them 6,000 gold up. They've lost control of the river. They've lost control of the Baron pit. Rookie pushing in the bottom side with his TP available. Top Esports feel they have to contest. These W's from JackeyLove are really starting to chunk out EDG. But the TP has been forced from Rookie, and that's enough for EDG to back away.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Rookie was using to use that one so quickly. Didn't even get the wave in bot side yet, but Top Esports trying to threaten a pinch. Rookie might take mid lane into turret.
Rookie's just pushing mid. Now the engage comes out from the side of EDG. Everyone dives into the back line. And the dive finally works out. Rookie into the fray as well as Fofo surely falls. He's in the back of Crook Pit and will be taken out. But suddenly answering back. Allah versus the world. JJ throwing saplings from a distance. But I'm not sure this is a fight EDG can win anymore. Chains onto Allah here. The knockup should come on through, but he flashes to keep himself safe. Rookie wants a little bit more. Trying to get them damage down under the tower, but Allah threatening the stun forces Rookie away.
Still, I mean, even trade, right? 3 for 3 at the end of the day. Top Esports, you would call the victors of the fight. They force the enemy team back. They're the ones pushing waves in, denying gold and experience. But still, this is getting incredibly close, as we're going to see here. Right, Rookie pushing in mid lane, but Top Esports still decide to start off a fight. We see a pretty nice ult come out from Wayward that isn't blocked, and it opens up for JackeyLove to go in with the Killer Instinct, find his way onto Uzi with the help of Tien, and then they try to finish it out. Problem is, now your AD carries left up against this massive Poppy. So Allah able to find the one, and then sadly, Rookie not really having the damage to be able to take down someone is big. Someone is thick, we'll say, is Allah right away.
Look, Allah did the most damage of anyone in that fight. JJ as well on the Maokai doing some work. This top side, they are tanky, but they have got Sunfire Capes. Well, that's not true. They've got one Sunfire Cape. JJ having obviously the demonic embrace as well to get those saplings, chunking people out. Feel like it is Rookie doing most of the heavy lifting here for Top Esports. 7-0-3. He's got the upgraded Night Harvester as well. And it feels like, to be honest, I was a little surprised to see Top Esports commit to the fight. I feel like they had a great setup for Rookie to just push mid.
I agree. I definitely feel like they could have threatened mid more there, but who knows? You know, could have been a breakdown of communication or just thinking that that was the best time to get on Uzi. Still, though, we'll be able to get the second dragon.
For Uzi, this is like a Survivor Teamfight Challenge, brackets impossible. Like, how the hell do you, as Uzi, get out of a fight? Because even if the anti-dive comp works, it's like you win the fight after Uzi's dead. I don't think it's possible to actually protect Uzi in these fights.
Munchie has a stopwatch this time. You know, he's a little bit better.
That's very true, honestly. And Varus is one of those champions that the longer the fight goes on, certainly will be able to get massive damage out. What are you giggling away at?
Just noticing, like, the game of dodgeball that Uzi has to play against JackeyLove. JackeyLove, he's so close to connecting these so many times.
The amount of poke on both sides is obscene, because Fofo is starting to really chunk out with these shock blasts. Rookie returns to the mid lane, finishes that tower off. No TPs available for Top Esports, so they can't really play the full side lane game.
No. Now Rookie also going to be spotted out by this control ward. We're going to see if Allah finds value.
That's Baron. Massive ult from Allah. Gets the Baron for his team. Rookie trying to get some damage in. And that's some huge damage out from the static Shiv. But EDG get themselves the Baron. They get out with it. It's in trade for a tier 3 in the mid lane, but the inhib doesn't go down. And this composition is slowly but surely winning the battle of attrition for EDG.
Remember earlier when I said I wanted to predict a 3-0, but I felt like it'd be a 3-2 because of how Top Esports is? I feel like this game actually might be the perfect example of why. It felt like maybe they just committed to playing sides a little bit too long when they already had such a massive advantage early in the game, and they could have pressed it harder. And now we're seeing the full force of, again, the durability coming out from EDG. Gargoyle Stoneplate now picked up for Allah. He's only going to be even harder to deal with for the members of Top Esports.
He certainly is. He's going to be practically invincible. And that's one thing AP Kais is not great for, is trying to get through tanks. There it is. I mean, Rookie actually kind of jumped into that one a little bit. Zips back to it after the ult. But it was enough. They got Tien out of that, and that's all they needed.
Yeah, now going to be able to use these Baron Up minions to find a push. So we're going to see, I'm going to say a potential pick going to come out, but EDG actually bringing more forces here faster. They do, of course, see Fofo on top side, so if EDG overcommit here, nope. Actually, looks like Jackie and Wayward are going to decide to back off in the end. So at the end of the day, will this be one turret going over to EDG? And Munch, we both know where we're at. We're at the point where potentially one big team fight going to be able to decide this game. But it feels like Top Esports is going to have to be the ones to pull the trigger. And it just seems like that's not how they want to play it, right? They're trying to bank on the static Shiv, Lichbane, LeBlanc finding presence in sides. But that might just give the opening for EDG to start a fight of their own.
And I want to take a second and talk about the big picture as well here, because we're talking about Top Esports getting this massive lead, not quite being able to actually finish things off here. The winner of this series is going to go up against BLG. So for EDG, like going this far behind in the early game, that's a scary sign against BLG. For Top Esports, not being able to finish this game off, that's a scary sign when your next opponent is BLG. I feel like both teams today needed to come in looking absolutely dominant. They needed to come in looking incredibly confident. So far, I feel like both leaving a little to be desired.
Yeah, there was a part of me today that wanted a 5-game banger for the excitement, but there was a part of me that also wanted a confident 3-0 for either of these teams, so we at least have hope when they go up against BLG. Like you're saying, not a ton coming from either side. Rookie does spot out Ala. But again, the name of the game is finding Uzi or Fofo.
Yeah, they're just muscling their way in right now. Fofo is getting big damage out. If you group up as Top Esports, those shock blasts will wreck that ward. Incredibly valuable, showing that they're backing away here. And EDG move to the mid lane. Baron not going to be up for a little while now, but Drake up in a minute's time. It's 2 apiece, but you feel like EDG pretty much just have control of the map at this point, so the third one probably should go their way.
I mean, anywhere Ala is, it just feels like it's too hard for TS to be able to deal with. I seriously do not think they have the damage to be able to take him down without him making an egregious mistake, overstepping and getting chunked out super early before his team's even around. But he hasn't been making mistakes like that in this game. A lot of those mistakes have been coming from the side of TES.
And you can see MR starting to come online. Just finished off a Negatron cloak there. Headed towards some MR for himself. You'd assume a Force of Nature. And that is going to mean that, we've seen Rookie chunking him out, but even that's not going to work once he finishes off that next time. Even just the Negatron cloak is going to do a lot of value versus Rookie. Void Staff finished off. You can see now potentially a pick onto Mark. Has to flash away. Ala on the front line. He is tanky, and that shield getting big value. Chain of Corruption. Mark is going to be the target. And EDG, this death ball, paying dividends. Denied on the ultimate here as everyone tries to dive in. Jackalup's still alive as Rookie threatening on the back line as well. And Top Esports, they flipped it around. The death ball, more like a death circle at this point. And Top Esports, they've drawn a pentagram inside it. 21-11. Another triple for Rookie and a flawless game.
I can't believe that TES were able to take that fight. Inhib's exposed, and it looks like they just want to barrel down mid and try to find the game win. That should have been theirs all along.
EDG so close to the glorious comeback. It would have been a miracle win for them. And it would have been the beginning of a miracle run in the series. But Top Esports, after a dominant early game, they do put a bow on it. And Rookie, my goodness, 10-0-4. His second game of LeBlanc since the middle of the split. And showing that he's still very much got the skill.
Yeah, and I believe the difference maker in that last fight, it was crazy. I'll be honest, I would need a replay to be specific with it, but I feel like the thing that turned the tides was Tien getting close enough to Paranoia onto Fofo and Rookie jumping onto Uzi at the exact